What's up? It's your boy Carcino here, and yeah, we haven't made a Will Smith video in a while. So everybody's like, man, coming to me now. You ain't talk about Will. I was like, but I thought y'all said I was talking about Will too much. I was milking it. So I just stayed quiet. Forget it. Y'all don't want to hear about it. But now everybody want to hear about Will now. Okay. You see how that works? So anyway, thanks to everybody who hit that super thanks button. I wanted to go down there and see if I could read all the super thanks. I got to go in there and see if I could do that, where it lists all the super thanks for me. But it just showed that people hit the super thanks, so that's showing that they're appreciating the videos even after it's over. They're going back watching them, so I appreciate that because you guys are the rocks. You guys are my rock. You guys keep it moving. I appreciate all the love and support from you guys. Now, let's move forward. Now, when you start talking about things that need to change or things that just isn't the same anymore, or let's say, for instance, you don't like a certain scenario in Hollywood, I told you guys how weird it is, and people think like, man, you don't know no. I know people that are famous. You know that by now. You know that I know this world, and I'm not in it, but I know of it. I know what they do. I know everybody's like, well, how do you? I'm like, I know what they eat. I know what they don't eat. I know everything about what they're doing almost to the key, to the last faction. Now, the scenario is this, because I'm interested in knowing is the people's reaction to what they just heard. Because a lot of people say things and you write it off as, oh, that's just some superstitious garbage or that's people being paranoid. Let me explain to you something that's true. They believe this because they experience it and they go through it a lot. Hollywood, they trust Hollywood. When people get prescribed medications, it's normally from a wacky doctor that they have that they trust. This doctor might have been with them and hear their most intimate details and that they share and they pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to a year. Then they have a psychiatrist. Then they have a spiritual guidance person. They have people that actually sit there and actually talk to the dead. They hire people like this in Hollywood. It makes them feel comfortable. They'll invite their friends over. They do seances. All of these things that you think is a joke, this really happens in Hollywood. I'm dead serious. I wouldn't lie to you. This is why I wouldn't hang out with anyone, basically Hollywood, and go places I don't know. Go to people's houses for no. Sorry. Can't do it, won't do it. Everybody's involved in all different type of activities. So what you heard from Will Smith, because you probably say, well, how does this relate to Will?
Money flying away, and my house is flying away, and my career is going away, and I'm like, and I'm trying to like grab for my money and my career. My whole life is getting destroyed.
So this is your fear.
This is my fear,
in real
right?
life.
And I'm in there, but I'm in there now. I'm just wanting to vomit and all of that. And I hear a voice saying, "This is what the it is. This is what the life is." And I'm going, oh. And I hear Willow screaming, "Daddy, help me, Daddy, how come you won't help me?" And I'm like, "I don't see you, baby, I don't see you." And the shaman is like, "Relax, relax, relax." And she tells me, "Sit up." She tells me, "Sit up." And then slowly, it's like I stopped caring about my money. I just want to get to Willow. I stopped caring about my house. I stopped caring about my career. And I get to the point where I settle down and the voice is still at 100%. I still hear Willow screaming. My money is still flying away, but I'm going, and I'm totally calm, even though there's hell going on in my mind. When I came out of it, I realized that anything that happens in my life, I can handle it.
And with that statement alone, his shaman had gave him a hallucinogenic. And it's supposed to bring out your inner thoughts and everything and all your fears. And this was Will before the Oscars with a sit down with David Letterman, pre-recorded. And he's talking about all these things. So Will was taking medication, right? And he had a bad reaction to the medication. Then he started talking about he had 14 of these experiences where he kept seeing all hell around him. His career, everything going up in smoke. Do you know what that is, ladies and gentlemen? Well, that's why I'm here. This is dealing with a spiritual doctor and a psychiatrist at the same time. And when you're mixing medications and mixing different things, you're going to hallucinate. You're going to see things that are probably not there. Then you don't know what these doctors are doing. Plus, people are paying big money in Hollywood to do these rituals because they believe in them. Not to say Will doesn't do that. For everyone who believes Will made a deal with the devil and this and that, he very well might have made it in paper, but he didn't go through a ritual of any kind that you might be thinking of. His was different. He's a Mason. Okay? Just like a lot of black actors in Hollywood who are Masons. It's a lot of them. You don't see them, and they're making a lot of money. Clifton Powell was a Mason. They got another Mason brother. And what it is just a frat, a fraternity that they've signed to, that they all look out for each other. and you know, they group and they walk of life. But dealing with those symbols and certain acts, you can unwillingly invoke negative spirits around you and negative energy. And we'll know he has probably done that. That's why he's seen someone to remove these negative and spiritual things away from him. That's why he's going to see a shaman, because he wants to get these negative and evil spirits away from him. If you're weak, others around you can put these evil spirits around you. Strong people, they can't stay around. If you're strong spiritually, they can't drain you. They try. But no matter how much they go and do these seances and rituals and all of these things, they can't touch your light. They need you to cooperate in order for that to happen. If you don't give them your cooperation, if you don't bend and break, or if they can't find something, some pain or fear that you have in your life, they won't be able to penetrate. So this is why people often say, like, I got to make sure my circle is strong. I got to watch it. I got to keep these snakes out my circle. Because the snakes, as long as you keep the snakes in the circle, they're going to keep prying till they find something they can pull on to draw you away from your light. You see a lot of people when they get into Hollywood, they all one way, and then they come out a whole nother. And you're like, what the hell happened to this person? You look at Kanye West and you say, what the hell happened to this person? They used his pain against him. He was not prepared to be in life without his mother. The pain of losing his mother was great, and it affected his entire life and left him wide open to be manipulated, to be controlled, to he's doing all kind of devilish things. Because they always want to take the best of us. They don't want to take somebody who's the worst. They've already got them. They don't worry about them. Negative spirits like to take the most proudful person that we know of. And Kanye was a symbol of light. Mr. Jesus Walks. He was the good person, the best of us. Like, man, this guy is great. So much energy, positive energy. And they drained him to become a bitter, jealous, envious, pain-stricken, suffering human being. He's suffering right now. Now, when people think of his name, it's in disgust. He's psychotic. He's crazy. He's insane. Oh, but he's a billionaire, too. And it doesn't mean anything. Because they don't look at you as with any worth whatsoever. People think what they could use you for. So Kanye is a prime example of what would happen if somebody is allowed to drain their light. We'll fight against that every day. Will Smith is fighting against having him go negative. So the Oscar moment, as bad as it was, what was worse is everything that followed afterwards. How fast everybody was quick to just destroy Will Smith. The same energy that they complained that Will had, it was all justified to use against Will. The hypocrisy was grand. And their disdain is his wife. She has to go. Now, I agree, and the world probably agrees, that this marriage is bad. It's a sham at this point. It is fractured beyond repair. They know each other and they like each other, but they're not in love with each other. And they never was. Well, on her side, she wasn't. And on Will's side, I don't think he loved Jada like that. It was more of a possession thing. He was attracted to Jada. And he didn't want to lose Jada. He wanted to work. And because he wants it to work, he wants to control everything. And before, she just went along with whatever Will said. Will called the shots. Then she started having children. Then they started becoming a power couple. Her voice got larger. Because while Will is happy, she's not really happy. And now she's like, well, I got to get back to doing me. I've raised 2 children, and now they're of age, and now it's my turn. I need to go out there and feel like I'm relevant again. I need to be busy. So it was just too much going on. And while Will is keeping himself busy by working, he's always trying to get negative energy away from him. That's why he cut off going out to certain events and hanging out with certain people that he used to. Those people are all gone. Will's life is different now. All of those hanger-ons that he had before, those people ain't around no more. Will got rid of all of them. A lot of people might not have known that, but Will Smith don't have those people around no more. Will's circle is all the positive people like James, people he knew since he was in Philly. He made that switch like years ago. But his main problem is always going to be his anchor, Jada, trying to hold on to something and someone who doesn't really want to be there. But now they have all these businesses entwined. They're never going to divorce. They're just going to do their own things while still being married. But now the brand has been hurt by all of this. They're just letting time go by and let all these events happen so people can forget about it. Then they're going to go on as business as usual. Now, Marvel is supposedly doing a Blade. I don't know if it's going to be a series or a movie when they come out with Blade. And Jada Pinkett Smith is supposed to be in Blade, I heard. So we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out. She has a Netflix deal, which they push back all her stuff, basically because she got a documentary. She's got all these things going on as part of her Netflix deal. How does she get a Netflix deal? Will Smith got it. So when you hear Will speak on his future or his life, He's speaking from pain. I've seen a person where his wife told him to his face and in front of other people, she doesn't love him anymore. And he was ready to fight her because it hurt him. He was ready to fight her because it hurt. This is a woman that goes on a red table talk and embarrasses her husband without his consent, knowing that this is damaging to him. But it's making her feel good to do it. Like, oh, I've had all this pent up for so long. And she's basically praising other people. And it's baffling, but to me it's vintage. This is vintage Jada Pinkett Smith. Every movie role she had played at that time, before Will Smith, she played some type of hoochie, or some type of, not just a hoochie, but a thug girl. You know, a girl that hung out and dated dangerous men, or just around real street like situations. Jason's Lyric, that's the only time she went with one guy whom she could control. And she wanted to get away, get out of town. Then what's she doing? Minister society. Her baby daddy's in jail. Then she's going out with another dude who's robbing and killing. Trying to start a life with him, and we going away. And she got her son exposed to this whole gangster life. So I don't know. I just said the apple didn't fall that far from the tree. She's from B-more, so she understood. You know, it was quite weird, but she understood exactly what it was. I understand when people say certain things, they mean certain things. They move in a certain light. This is it. I'm used to it. But if you just got here, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the page, hit the notification bell. The Patreon has been updated right now. We're doing the Mount Rushmore. Who would you put in the place? I'm going there to check that out and see what y'all put as the final Mount Rushmore spot as far as the new artists, meaning the Drakes, you know, in that era. Who would y'all have up there? So I'm very interested to see who people gonna put. Matter of fact, let me go there now. Just to see if I could pull this up and see who they actually picked. Which should be interesting. Wow. Wow, this is crazy. Conway the Machine gets the final spot. They kidding me right now. This is incredible. So far, Conway is winning. We got one vote for Nipsey, we got one vote for Big Sean. And Nipsey, oh man, that's something. Conway or Benny. Everybody got, this is crazy. All right, man. I'll see y'all, man. Hopefully y'all on the Carcito for Life Patreon already. And if y'all new here, hopefully y'all subscribe to the page already. But I'm gonna get out of here.